Way. Checkpoint interview questions. 1. What is anti-spoofing? ANS anti-spoofing is the feature of Checkpoint Firewall, which is protect from attacker who generate IP packet with fake or spoof source address. It's determined that whether traffic is legitimate or not. If traffic is not legitimate, then firewall block the traffic on interface of firewall. 2. What is asymmetric encryption? ANS, in asymmetric encryption there is two different key used for encrypt and decrypt a packet. Means that one key used for encrypt packet, and second key used to for decrypt packet. Same key cannot encrypt and decrypt. 3. What is stealth rule in Checkpoint Firewall? ANS, stealth rule protect Checkpoint Firewall from direct access any traffic. Its rule should be placed on the top of security rule base. In this rule, administrator denied all traffic to access Checkpoint Firewall. 4. What is cleanup rule in Checkpoint Firewall? ANS, cleanup rule place at last of the security rule base. It's used to drop all traffic which not match with above rule and logged. Cleanup rule mainly created for log purpose. In this rule, administrator denied all the traffic and enable log. 5. What is NAT? ANS, NAT stand for Network Address Translation. It's used to map private IP address with public IP address and public IP address map with private IP address. Mainly it's used for provide security to the internal network and servers from internet. NAT is also used to connect internet with private IP address. Because private IP not routable on internet. 6. What is source NAT? And source NAT used to initiate traffic from internal network to external network. In source NAT only source IP will translate it in public IP address. 7. What is VPN, Virtual Private Network? ANS, VPN, Virtual Private Network, is used to create secure connection between two private network over internet. It's used encryption authentication to secure data during transmission. There are two types of VPN. Site-to-site VPN. Remote access VPN. 8. What is IPsec? ANS, IPsec, IP security, is a set of protocol, which is responsible for make secure communication between two host machine, or network over public networks such as internet. IPsec protocol provide confidentiality, integrity, authenticity and anti-replay protection. There is two IPsec protocol which provide security 1. ESP, encapsulation security payload, and 2. Authentication header. 9. What is difference between ESP and IPsec protocol? ANS ESP protocol is a part of IPsec suite. It's provide confidentiality, integrity and authenticity. It's used in two mode, transport mode and tunnel mode. It is also part of a IPsec suite. It's provide only authentication and integrity. It does not provide encryption. It's also used to two mode, transport mode and tunnel mode. 10. What is explicit rule in Checkpoint Firewall? ANS, it's a rule in rules base which is manually created by network security administrator that called explicit rule. 11. What is hide NAT? ANS, hide NAT used to translate multiple private IP or network with single public IP address. Means many to one translation. It can only be used in source NAT translation. Hide NAT cannot be used in destination NAT. 12. What is destination NAT? ANS, when request to translate destination IP address for connect with internal private network from public IP address. Only static NAT can be used in destination NAT. 13. Difference between automatic NAT and manual NAT. Automatic NAT. Manual NAT. Automatic created by firewall. Manually created by network security administrator. Cannot modify. Can be modified. Cannot create. No NAT rule. Can be create. No NAT rule. Cannot create dual NAT. Can be create dual NAT. Port forwarding not possible. Port forwarding possible. Proxy ARP by default enabled. Proxy ARP by default not enable. 14. What is SAM database? And Suspicious Activity Monitoring, SAM, is a utility integrated in SmartView Monitor. It blocks activities that you see in the SmartView Monitor results and that appear to be suspicious. For example, you can block a user who tries several times to gain unauthorized access to a network or internet resource. 15. What is difference between standalone deployment distributed deployment? Question mark. Standalone deployment. In standalone deployment, security gateway and security management server installed on same machine. Distributed deployment. In distributed deployment, security gateway and security management server installed on different machine. 16. What is SIC? SIC stand for Secure Internal Communication. It's a checkpoint firewall feature that is used to make secure communication between checkpoint firewall component. It's used when security gateway and security management server installed in distributed deployment. It's authentication and encryption for secure communication. 17. What is three-tier architecture component of checkpoint firewall? Smart console. Security management. Security gateway. 18. What is the packet flow of checkpoint firewall? I. SAM database. E. Address spoofing. E. Session lookup. IV. Policy lookup. B. Destination NAT. B. Route lookup. B. Source NAT. B. Layer 7 inspection. X. VPN. X. Routing. She. 19. What advantage of NAT? Save public IP to save cost. Security with hide internal network. Avoid routing. Publish server over internet. Overlapping network. Access internet from private IP address. 20. What is Smart Dashboard? And its tool of Smart Console. It's used to configure rule, policy object, create NAT policy, configure VPN and cluster. What is asymmetric encryption? In asymmetric encryption there is two different key used for encrypt and decrypt a packet. Means that one key used for encrypt packet, and second key used to for decrypt packet. Same key cannot encrypt and decrypt. How checkpoint component communicates and sync with each other. Secure Internal Communications (SIC) is the checkpoint feature that ensures components, such as security gateways, Smart Center Server, Smart Console, etc. can communicate with each other freely and securely using a replacement communication initialization process. Checkpoint packet flow for SNAT and DNAT. In case of SNAT, anti-spoofing, session lookup, policy lookup, routing, netting. In case of DNAT, anti-spoofing, session lookup, policy lookup, netting, routing, checkpoint anti-spoofing. What is anti-spoofing? Anti-spoofing is the feature of checkpoint firewall, which is protect from attacker who generate IP packet with fake or spoof source address. It's determined that whether traffic is legitimate or not. If traffic is not legitimate, then firewall block the traffic on interface of firewall. What is stealth rule in checkpoint firewall? Stealth rule protect checkpoint firewall from direct access any traffic. Its rule should be placed on the top of security rule base. In this rule, administrator denied all traffic to access checkpoint firewall. What is cleanup rule in checkpoint firewall? Cleanup rule place at last of the security rule base. It is used to drop all traffic which not match with above rule and log. Cleanup rule mainly created for log purpose. In this rule, administrator denied all the traffic and enabled log. What are the functions of CPD, FWM, and FWD processes? CPD is a high in the hierarchical chain and helps to execute many services, such as secure internal communication, SIC licensing and status report. FWM. The FWM process is responsible for the execution of the database activities of the Smart Center server. It is, therefore, responsible for policy installation, management, high availability, hot synchronization, saving the policy, database read, write action, log display, etc. FWD. The FWD process is responsible for logging. It is executed in relation to logging, security servers and communication with OPSEC applications. What are the two types of checkpointing licenses? 1. Central license. 2. Local licenses. Central licenses are the new licensing model for ING and are bound to the Smart Center server. Local licenses are the legacy licensing model and are bound to the enforcement module. What are the major differences between Splat and Gaia? Gaia is the latest version of Checkpoint, which is a combination of Splat and IPSO. Here are some benefits of Gaia as compared to Splat IPSO. 1. Web-based user interface with search navigation. 2. Full software blade support. 3. High connection capacity. 4. Role-based administrative access. 5. Intelligent software updates. 6. Native IPv4 and IPv6 support. 7. ClusterXL or VRRP clusters. 8. Manageable dynamic routing suite. 9. Full compatibility with IPSO and secure platform. What is Checkpoint architecture? Checkpoint has developed a unified security architecture that is implemented throughout all of its security products. This unified security architecture enables all Checkpoint products to be managed and monitored from a single administrative console, and provides a consistent level of security. The Checkpoint unified security architecture is comprised of 4 main components. 1. Core technologies. Checkpoint uses a common set of core technologies, such as Inspect for security inspection, across multiple layers of security. 2. Central management. All Checkpoint products can be managed and monitored from a single administrative console. 3. Open architecture. Checkpoint has built its security architecture to be open and interoperable in a heterogeneous environment. For example, Checkpoint products can interoperate with other network and security equipment from third-party vendors to enable cooperative enforcement of security policies. 4. Universal updatability. Checkpoint has consolidated multiple security alert and update functions to ease update procedures and help administrators ensure that security is always up to date. What is 3-tier architecture component of Checkpoint Firewall? Smart Console. Security Management. Security Gateway. What is NAT? NAT stands for Network Address Translation. It is used to map private IP address with public IP address and public IP address map with private IP address. Mainly it is used for provide security to the internal network and servers from Internet. NAT is also used to connect Internet with private IP address. Because private IP can't route on Internet. What is Source NAT? Source NAT used to initiate traffic from internal network to external network. In Source NAT only source IP will translate it in public IP address. What are the protocols of IPsec? And what are the protocol numbers of IPsec protocols? IPsec use 2 protocols: Authentication Header and ESP, Encapsulated Security Payload. A works on protocol number 51 and ESP works on protocol number 50. Site-to-site VPN. Remote access VPN. What is difference between ESP and IPsec protocol? ESP protocol is a part of IPsec suite. It's provide confidentiality, integrity and authenticity. It's used in 2-mode transport mode and tunnel mode. It's is also part of a IPsec suite. It's provide only authentication and integrity. It does not provide encryption. It's also used to 2-mode transport mode and tunnel mode. What is SIC? SIC stand for Secure Internal Communication. It's a Checkpoint Firewall feature that is used to make secure communication between Checkpoint Firewall component. It's used when Security Gateway and Security Management Server installed in distributed deployment. Its authentication and encryption for secure communication. How SIC work? What are the different ports of SIC? Secure internal communication. SIC lets checkpoint platforms and products authenticate with each other. The SIC procedure creates a trusted status between gateways, management servers and other checkpoint components. SIC is required to install polices on gateways and to send logs between gateways and management servers. These security measures make sure of the safety of SIC. 1. Certificates for authentication. 2. Standards-based SSL for the creation of the secure channel. 3. 3DES for encryption. The Internal Certificate Authority (ICA). The ICA is created during the Security Management Server installation process. The ICA is responsible for issuing certificates for authentication. For example, ICA issues certificates such as SIC certificates for authentication purposes to administrators and VPN certificates to users and gateways. Initializing the trust establishment process. Communication initialization establishes a trust between the security management server and the checkpoint gateways. This trust lets checkpoint components communicate securely. Trust can only be established when the gateways and the server have SIC certificates. Note, for SIC to succeed, the clocks of the gateways and servers must be synchronized. The Internal Certificate Authority (ICA) is created when the security management server is installed. The ICA issues and delivers a certificate to the security management server. To initialize SIC. 1. Decide on an alphanumeric activation key. 2. In Smart Dashboard, open the Gateway Network object. In the General Properties page of the gateway, click Communication to initialize the SIC procedure. 3. In the communication window of the object, enter the activation key that you created in Step 2. 4. Click Initialize. The ICA signs and issues a certificate to the gateway. Trust state is initialized but not trusted. The certificate is issued for the gateway, but not yet delivered. SSL negotiation takes place. The two communicating peers are authenticated with their activation key. The certificate is downloaded securely and stored on the gateway. After successful initialization, the gateway can communicate with any checkpoint node that possesses a SIC certificate, signed by the same ICA. The activation key is deleted. The SIC process no longer requires the activation key, only the SIC certificates. Checkpoint SIC ports. Port. Type. Service description. 18209. TCP. NGX Gateways ICA's status, issue, or revoke. 18210. TCP. Pull certificates from an ICA. 18211. TCP. Used by the CPD daemon on the gateway to receive certificates. IPsec works at which OSI layer? IP layer, network layer, and provides security services network layer and above. What is the packet flow of Checkpoint Firewall? 1. SAM database. 2. Address spoofing. 3. Session lookup. 4. Policy lookup. 5. Destination NAT. 6. Route lookup. 7. Source NAT. 8. Layer 7 inspection. 9. VPN. 10. Routing. What advantage of NAT? Save public IP to save cost. Security with hide internal network. Avoid routing. Publish server over internet. Overlapping network. Access internet from private IP address.